So last story of the day is a story that was a little bit of a gauntlet thrown by the audience for us.
Yep.
This was one of those things where maybe we weren't going to talk about something because maybe we weren't.
No, we were definitely going to. Well, you didn't hear about it until you got here.
Well, I didn't hear about it until I was in the car on the way here, and then Prager was like, did you hear about this? And I went, "Blah, we got to talk about that." And they were like, well, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that meant. GoDaddy VP caught bidding against customers. 2,783 people dug this story submitted by Gyro. A GoDaddy vice president has been caught bidding against customers in their own domain auctions. The employee, Adam Dicker, not gonna lie, isn't just any GoDaddy employee. He's head of GoDaddy's subsidiary that controls the auctions. Dicker won some of the domains he bid for and pushed the bid prices on auctions he did not win up. This is a big, big, big deal. Right?
Absolutely. Well, it's a big deal. Here's the thing. I didn't read this entire story, so you got to give me a little back info.
That is the gist of it.
So basically, I don't see any reason why a GoDaddy employee can't bid for domains.
The head of the auction company?
Well, is he getting paid by GoDaddy, or is this stuff that he's doing himself?
He runs the company that handles the auction.
Okay, that's a little bit of a conflict of interest.
A little bit?
Yeah.
How is that a little bit of a conflict of interest?
Well, here's what I'm saying.
I don't think anybody that has anything to do with the company that runs an auction should be able to bid on an auction.
Right.
If you work for eBay, you're not using eBay.
That's fair.
Right?
That's probably fair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I thought about it for a while.
I agree with that. The only thing that does suck is that, like, if you were working there and you see, and it's your job to like look at these auctions all day long.
Yeah, and you see
and all of a sudden you
the
see a
next
domain that you really
Digg.com.
want, and you're like, shit, I would love to jump on that auction.
Dude, friends.
And then all of a sudden you can't, or you do, but yeah.
No, this is not
It's
that.
your job. Especially, you know what? If you were like an engineer, like someone that worked in the auction site, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I saw that good domain, I'm going to bid on it. Whatever.
Yeah.
When you're the VP in charge of auctions, that's the top tier. Like, there's no, that's your baby.
That is your baby.
You kind of have to bow out and say, whoever gets this auction
wins it.
Wins it. not me.
Yeah.
Especially because you have controls at that level to some of the tools.
Well, the other thing is that they were saying they have statistical information like who's being bid by proxy. Like eBay, you could see what is somebody's maximum they would go to.
Oh, see that? So, okay, now that is what makes it all wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's no longer a level playing field then. You know what I mean? Like, if this was some low-level GoDaddy employee just wanting to make a bid on a cool domain that they saw, whatever.
Guy who parks cars or
But when
something.
you have full access to all the stats and you know how to cheat and game the system.
Well, the other thing is, and this is very interesting to me, is that if I have a domain name at either GoDaddy or they mentioned Yahoo domain thing in the article, when that domain expires, it becomes an auction. It doesn't just go back into the regular pool. It becomes an auction.
That's interesting.
Right? And that seems like that's standard fare across different companies, which is a little bit nerve-wracking to me. I mean, that's why I have auto-renew on everything. Yeah, because it should just go back so that I'm like, oh, whoops, I forgot to, and then I get it back.
Well, there is like a kind of a waiting period. I don't know if GoDaddy has this, but I know that in domains in general, if you forget to renew them, they kind of go into this weird grace period where for 30 or 60 days, nothing can happen.
Right.
I'm assuming that's still the case. It doesn't go straight to auction.
Well, the deal with the auction stuff is that Yahoo gives a portion of the auctioned money to the person who used to have the domain.
That's even weirder.
I agree. GoDaddy doesn't, but I was like, well, why would they?
Yeah, it's just, they should, well, first of all, they should just say, hey, if you don't want this domain, we're going to auction it.
you get automatic emails going, hey, your domain's going to run out, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I said
But this is shady. This is shady with a capital D.
Yeah, all the ones, I mean, they should seriously sit down and have a talk to the VP and say, hey, this is, I mean, obviously he knows that it's no-go.
Oh, this Dicker knows.
Yeah, he definitely knows what's up. Yeah. So, I don't know. How do you reprimand someone like this? It's a VP at the VP level.
Well, that's the thing. It's hard. I mean, what do you do? Does the guy deserve to lose his job because of this?
You know, I think it really depends on what they find out.
Yeah.
If you take a look at his account, it's clearly he's been, like sniping and getting he has an arsenal of several hundred domains.
Like sex.com or whatever.
That he's stolen. Not stolen, but used the tools to get the best.
Pants.com.
You really want that, don't you?
I would love it. I didn't even know how much I wanted it until right then.
I mean, if he's been abusing the system for quite some time, then yes, something like that should happen. But if it's a one-off thing, I don't know. Depends on how good he is.
Women's, men's, and cargo pants, slacks, and jeans.
That's a squatter for sure.
I know it is, but
yeah.
Digital media, I am not calling.
Anyway, to all the people that were watching the story, they were like, oh, Kevin and Alex won't talk about this. We absolutely will talk about it.
Dude, we know GoDaddy. We love GoDaddy, but that's some shady shit.
That is some shady shit.
That is some shady shit.